Hi, and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Wednesday on Charter Channel 8, where you can see us 6 days a week. We would like to welcome back St. Mary's School, Night of Nights and Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southern Minnesota as sponsors of the Owatonna Today Show. We thank you so much for joining us. We want to make sure that you give a shout out to them by supporting them as well. You can see us here right on Charter Channel 8, but if for some reason you're on vacation or you just don't get to that TV in time, you can always find us on the internet. We are on blip.tv as well as YouTube and on Facebook. And liking us on Facebook makes it a little easier for you to see the show because Leanne does upload the most recent episode right to your Facebook feed. It's a great way to keep connected with what's going on in your community. Like today, we're going to talk about severe weather awareness. We've had some crazy weather recently, and then also talking with Tanya Paley. And so stick with us. We'll be right back in a minute. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltfett of Horizon Eye Care Professionals, eye care you can trust. We're proud supporters of Owatonna Today.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Howdy, partner! Come join in the fun at the 28th Annual Night of Nights Benefit Auction, Saturday, April 12th at St. Mary's School in Owatonna.
The doors open at 4 p.m. Admission is only $5. There's new and exciting items to bid on at both the silent and live auction.
And don't forget to get your car and cash raffle ticket now for your chance to win $10,000 or a brand new Ford Focus.
There's great food and a cash bar available. You don't want to miss this great event.
So get your cowboy on.
And round up your posse.
Yeah!
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. We are talking with Tanya Paley and Mark Krug. Hello.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us today. We are going to talk about the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County. And so, Tanya, we're going to start with you, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself as usual.
Sure. Well, I am the project coordinator for just about another month here for the coalition, and brought with me here today Mark Krug. He's on our steering committee.
Good morning.
And,
Good morning, Mark. Would you mind giving us a quick introduction of yourself?
Yes. As Tanya said, I'm Mark Krug. I'm on the steering committee. I am also with the Owatonna School District.
Okay.
And my role on the steering committee is twofold. It's one, as an interested citizen of the community, but also to represent the school district.
How important is it to have that partnership between this program and the school district?
Oh, it's extremely important. And through the coalition, we've been able to bring a program into our schools that is helping our young students begin to make better choices. And it's a project called Project Northland, and it's geared towards 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And what's really nice about it, there are two aspects of it that have really appealed to us as a school district. One is that it is research-based. It has evidence behind it that demonstrates that it is successful. That was one of the initiatives of the coalition coming forward when the coalition was formed and they were looking at various programs. One of the things that we wanted to make sure was that whatever was brought forward had a degree of success behind it, so that we would hope that we'd be able to replicate that success here in our community.
So it's not a brand new program. This is something that has been established and done somewhere else.
Yes. And so then as a school district, we are all about trying to make sure that the time that we spend in school is so important. And our main objective is reading, writing, and math. But in order for our students to be able to do those things, they also need to have healthy lifestyles. And Project Northland very much complements that. It's not only a drug-resistant type of programming, it's a peer-oriented and peer-led program, which is what's really nice about it. And it encompasses that whole aspect of healthy being and healthy choice-making and weighing out those consequences.
Tanya, how did you guys find out about this program?
When we got the grant, we were looking at different things that we could do, as Mark said, to make a positive change in our community. And there is a registry of evidence-based curriculum, and we went there, and this one seemed like the best fit for our community. It was developed at the University of Minnesota, and many school districts in Minnesota have used it. So, as Mark said, it's not new, and it's certainly not new to Minnesota, and we thought it would work well here.
Do you have any idea what kind of success rate this program had in the other communities it was used in?
I didn't bring all of that data with me today, but I can say that what they do is they compare certainly districts that have the program versus districts that don't, and they also look at even for kids, and of course this isn't a lot of kids, but even for kids who in 6th grade maybe have started to make some bad choices, even those kids can get, through this program, it can really reduce their use and kind of turn that around. So I think because they're hearing it from their peers, that's not a cool choice, and they thought maybe it was.
Yeah, well, exactly. They're seeing that in the media, but...
Right.
Yeah.
So the idea, of course, is to talk to them. We think 6th grade is just about the right time to start talking to them, and then we're starting to get our student survey data back. We'll be able to report more about that, I think, in the next year or so.
Specific to our own community.
Yes, we started this 3 years ago, so our current 6th graders are 8th graders, and so they're going through that phase of it.
Yep.
And there is a student survey that is done, that we do annually, but then the state of Minnesota also does a survey on student use of risky behavior and just student, it's a general student interest, or not interest, but behavior type of survey. And hopefully we're going to see a decrease in some of the prevalence of using tobacco, prevalence of using marijuana, and of other chemicals.
So we have an idea that it's peer-based, but what is this program really going to look like, the nitty-gritty of it, when the students, is it classroom-based, so just kind of if you can give us an idea of what that looks like.
Sure. So in the 6th grade, we just recently went through a peer training. We trained, I think about 60 kids, quite a few. We did it in two days, and those 6th graders will now go back, and during their science class, this was already in the curriculum to have some discussion about this. So it's just a different way of doing it that we know works better. So in their science classes, once a week, and the science teachers at Willow Creek decide when that is, they say, okay, today is Project Northland Day, and then the peer leaders kind of take over, and they meet in small groups, and they do various activities. There are comic books that they take home, because there is a component of also, we know, fostering those discussions at home is really important. So it was fun when we did the peer leader training. The comic books are kind of silly but serious at the same time, so it's age appropriate. And they really enjoy it. They kind of laugh, and it doesn't have to be super serious,
or dry.
Or dry, right.
Because if you do go that direction, they're not going to be engaged. They're not.
They won't listen. So that's what it looks like in 6th grade. In 7th grade, it looks a little bit different, but they still have the peer leaders. This year, they're doing it actually during their phys ed component, and then in 8th grade, they do it in health because they do take a health class. So it does happen during the school day, and the teachers are in the classroom, but the students are doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Right.
Mark, how do they decide the peer leaders? How did that come about?
They nominate themselves.
Okay.
So that nice aspect of it is then they're making a commitment to it, and they're saying, this is something I want to do.
Okay.
And so the training is provided for them. The teachers are there to help with the curriculum. It's just not the student standing up and saying, okay, today's lesson is. The teacher most definitely,
the lesson plan.
The teacher most definitely helps with organizing it and providing some structure to it, but it very much is student-oriented and student-led, student discussion. It's not the teacher sitting up front and pontificating for 40 minutes. The teacher's going to do a short intro, introduce the concepts, and then the students themselves are going to do the work.
And then, so in the training that you've given them, what kind of training did they receive? What were they being told in that training?
How do you facilitate a conversation? How do you?
So these are really amazing life skills for these kids too.
How do you get other kids to participate? How do you try and keep somebody from monopolizing the conversation? How do you stay on task? Because that's you get a group of 6th graders together and the teacher is milling about. They're going to want to talk about something other than the topic at hand, perhaps. And so there's a lot of that.
Yeah. So I love that concept because they do have these kids learning life lessons about awareness and that kind of thing with and I take it it's not just drugs, it's alcohol, tobacco as well.
Yep. Actually, the primary focus is alcohol, but they show that those it's really the same conversation about all those things, but it does focus in on alcohol because that's the most common thing that they would be exposed
trying at this
to.
age.
Right.
At any age, actually, alcohol is probably our most prevalent chemical that's abused.
Okay. And so along with those life skills, you're also giving these leaders a chance to actually become leaders in a way.
Absolutely.
That's an interesting concept. Is that part of the success, do you think, of this program?
I think so.
Most definitely.
And I think it really fits in, as you probably know, our school district has been really focusing in on student leadership and teaching them in other contexts how to be leaders.
The 7 habits that we have within the schools. This also complements up at the high school level. We have a program called SHOCK, Students Helping Others Choose, and this complements that to a large degree.
So almost building that before they even get to high school, you're going to have leaders and that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So if a parent's interested in finding out more information about this program, maybe what's involved in it, the talking points, how can they get this information?
Sure. Well, I mean, parents can always contact the Coalition at the United Way if they have questions. And if they have a 6th grader this year, they will start to see those materials. If they haven't already, they will start to see those materials come home. And I think there's a letter from the teacher that explains, this is what we're doing and this is what's going to be coming home. And the students that are peer leaders, the parents have to say, yes, that's okay. So they're involved. But if there are any questions about, hey, how can I bring this to... we're not everywhere yet. We're not in Medford yet. We're not at Owatonna Christian School yet or St. Mary's. So there might be that opportunity if parents or grandparents are listening.
Good.
I know we have a short amount of time, and we've been talking about Project Northland, but I do want to make, on behalf of the board, a public thank you to Tanya. She has been the driving force as the coordinator for this, and so we are extremely lucky to have had her in this initial leadership role. And what's really nice is she's still going to be involved with the United Way, and so she'll still be able to lend her voice and her hand. But on behalf of the steering committee, a very big thank you to Tanya.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, thank you both for coming. Really do appreciate it and appreciate the work you've done for our community. We will be right back. Please stay with us.
Don't let the cold winter weather stop you from exercising. Keep up your fitness program at the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center. We offer a variety of different membership packages available on daily, monthly, and yearly basis. We also have a variety of programs and services to help the newest of members get started and to help those who have been around for a while improve on what they are doing. The Tennis and Fitness Center participates in insurance reimbursement programs with a variety of different insurance providers that could make you eligible for up to $20 credit each month. For more information about the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center, call us at 444-4290.
Everyone deserves opportunities to have a good life, a quality education that leads to a stable job, enough income to support a family through retirement, and good health. But the reality is, many children fall behind, many families are struggling, and many others are in poor health. United Way's goal is to find long-term solutions. Thanks to a grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation, we're hosting community conversations this year to address these issues. If you'd like to join us, please call our office.
Hi, this is Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better. At Amy Swain Hearing Centers, we offer many different brands of hearing instruments because everyone has a different lifestyle. Let me, Dr. Amy Swain, help you find the best hearing device for your hearing needs at Amy Swain Hearing Centers of Owatonna, Austin, and Waseca. Call 1-800-804-3361 for an appointment today, or visit my website at www.amyswainhearingcenters.com, because you deserve to hear better.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Come out to Spare Time Entertainment on Saturday, April 12th for Bowl for Kids' Sake to benefit Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southern Minnesota. Start today by forming a team, collecting pledges, and bowling for kids in our community. Call 451-5922 for more information, or go directly to our website to set up your online fundraising page. Help us change the lives of local children. Raise some money and join us for a great time on Saturday, April 12th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for Bowl for Kids' Sake. See you there.
I want to know if she got a strike. We're back with the Owatonna Today Show. You have to go and see. Go to Bowl for Kids' Sake. I have with me Dave Purscell with the Steele County Skywarn system. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's that time of year.
It is.
So
Tis the season.
I do have my burly winter hat with me today, but just that's a precaution.
Yes, because you never know. Yeah. Well, that's one of the great things about Minnesota is that weather is unpredictable. Mm-hmm. We never know what's going to happen. We wouldn't want it to be the same. Otherwise, we'd live in California. We like to have the variety.
That's true, and if you don't like the forecast, just change to a different channel.
It's just got to be something different on there.
That's right.
Well, let's talk. So we're talking today because it is the season of severe weather. Mm-hmm. What does that mean, severe weather? Because we feel like this winter has been severe.
That's been plenty severe already.
But that's a little different than what we're talking about today.
We're talking about, typically this time of year, we're talking about severe weather in terms of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes, those types of things. We don't have tsunamis around here. We don't have, some of the other types of events. But in this area, the major concern that we would have would be literally severe thunderstorms, and if and when they bring tornadoes as well. A severe thunderstorm basically is a thunderstorm. Obviously, it has to have thunder and lightning and such, but it includes either 1-inch diameter hail, or which is pretty severe, or it includes sustained winds, very high-speed sustained winds, and it could also contain a tornado. And so it's still a severe thunderstorm, even if there is a tornado there. But it
has to have those other elements in order to be a severe thunderstorm.
Thunderstorm, it's either a tornado, this is high sustained winds, or the hail, 1-inch hail. We talk about, there's a lot of confusion sometimes between watches and warnings and what that actually means. Watches are actually things, whether it's a severe thunderstorm watch or whether it's a tornado watch, those are issued out of the Severe Storms Forecast Center down in Norman, Oklahoma. They cover large parts of the country, big parts of multiple states, and they basically are just saying that the conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather and or tornadoes in and around that watch area. Warnings are actually an indication that something is happening now. This is an event which is going on at this moment in time, either detected off of radar or trained spotters that are reporting what's going on. And so it's more imminent. With a warning, it's a warning.
Keep an eye out.
Watch.
Be aware.
Keep aware. Be aware. With a warning, take action. It's time to take action at that point. And the third form of severe weather that does affect our area is flood warnings. Typically, we don't have. It's been a while, a couple years since we've had major flooding.
With wood.
Yeah, that's about right. But in this area of the country, that can be a significant thing. We've had Blooming Prairie, which had massive flooding and they don't have a river, to speak of right there. So it's you can have flooding even with and without rivers and things. We did manage to get through most of the snow melt without a lot of severe weather. As much as we didn't like having the return of cold weather in the middle there, slowing that down actually allowed some of the water to get out of the area without producing a lot of flood damage. So that was actually not a bad thing.
Well, that's your opinion. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding. So what's interesting, though, is like I said, we did have some severe weather in our own right with the winter. But when we get into this severe weather, we actually have to be take action. You mentioned that. And what kind of action do you take? Because you talked about those different things. What do people need to be aware of? What do they need to have prepared?
Absolutely. Preparedness isn't really the key. You don't want to sit there and think about, gee, what do I put in my emergency kit while the emergency kit's going on? So what you really want to do with that is think about that. The Red Cross has some great resources for that. National Weather Service has some resources for that on their website as well. But the idea is to build that kit, select the secure or safest area of your house where you're going to want to go in the event
And what
of
does
severe
that
weather.
mean? Let's talk about that.
What does that mean? That means we're going to have something, ideally a room with no windows. Ideally, you want to be as low as possible. So if you can be in the basement, a lot of the homes that I've been seeing, that I've been in lately, the area underneath the stairs is frankly a very good, secure area. Narrow spans, in other words, you don't have a huge, 20-foot span between walls, because that would, of course, weaken the ceiling structure or give it a potential, anyway, for a weakened structure. So, having those types of things, getting down low, and then in your emergency kit, make sure you've got, an emergency radio, spare batteries if you're using batteries for that, flashlights. Make sure that you've got drinking water available, bottled water, and check the dates on the bottled water. Bottled water is good. It doesn't, quote, expire, but the chemicals that are within the bottles can change the taste and potentially leach some things into there that you don't want for an extended period of time.
Okay.
So overall, those are the kinds of things. Blankets are great to have in there too, especially like those space blankets, the real thin Mylar ones. Yeah. They don't take up any room, but they can really provide help. If you were to get trapped in there while someone's looking for you, it's a good thing to be able to sustain the night. And the other strange one, stuffed animals. If you've got small children, making sure that you've got something that can help them to be comfortable during that time period.
That'd be good for me. I don't know.
I would think so too. I would think so too. I should have brought mine, but
I usually do. It's high.
Yeah.
No, so what's interesting, what I wanted to ask about, that's not just for tornadoes, though. That would be even in possibly with a severe thunderstorm with high winds.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
Because we've had damage that has come across because of the high winds instead of the tornado itself. And so it can be very important. You can drop a tree on a house. You can do with high sustained damages, and there's a lot of things that can happen with that.
Yeah. We do have some modular communities in our area, and so when you're in a modular home that might not have a basement or stairs, what kind of place should they be looking for to be safe?
Well, the nice thing is all of the modular communities or mobile home parks or whatever you want to call them in this area do have storm shelters. And there's storm shelters which are checked on a regular basis, and they're prepared. They're made sure going into the season that they have the supplies that they need. Though they typically don't have a lot of supplies, but they do provide the protection, because a mobile home is not a very good situation, especially in tornadoes, but even in high winds can be problems. Yeah. So those are good solutions.
Yeah. So you love watching the weather. You're a fan.
I do.
And I know we have a lot of other people out there who are as well.
We've got about 68 people that are active within Steele County Skywarn. These are people who take time out of their day, their evening. Some of them leave work. Some of them are paid because their employers allow them to serve while being paid. Others don't. They only get paid when they come. But they're putting themselves, their time, their families, they're committing a lot. And to basically provide safety, a measure of safety for the people within Steele County. That's the bulk of what they do and why they do it.
And their skill set isn't meteorology.
No.
Just an interest.
Just an interest. And we do provide training. We have National Weather Service certified trainers within our group. So when you actually go through our training, you're a certified spotter.
Ooh, wow. And so you meet once a month?
Once a month on the third Tuesday at 7 p.m., third floor of the fire hall.
Okay. Oh, so it's a great view up there.
That's a wonderful view.
We were up there a little bit ago. So as you go forward into this year, yourself personally, how do you prepare yourself for this season that could potentially be a little crazy? We've been, I think, fortunate in recent years, but how do you prepare yourself?
Well, the interesting thing with that is actually I go back through the same training that we give to our spotters. There's new education that comes about. We have new things to watch for. Because our number one goal in all of this is we need to be safe and keep our spotters safe. We're not looking for gung-ho people. We
Mavericks,
need people. We need people who will work with us to keep themselves safe, so that they can help to keep other people safe as well.
If they're not, that's not going to do any good.
That's right.
What's the best way for people to keep in contact with what's going on in the weather?
They can actually go to Steele County Skywarn.org, and they'll have good information available right there.
And where to find out, and what stations to listen to, and even a weather radio.
We'll have amateur radio frequencies in case they have a scanner they want to listen to what's going on, and you can download maps with our what we call sweet spots that show you where our spotters are typically going to be when we're talking about them.
Fantastic. That sounds like a great tool. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. All right, we will be right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jake with Napa Auto Parts.
Napa has the know-how for all your automotive needs.
Napa is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, my name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to Transitional Housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
And it's time for a quick look at your community service announcements. Quilts in Bloom, a bouquet of color, texture, and pattern, will fill all of the galleries with full-size quilts to samplers. They're on display now at the Owatonna Art Center. For the past 3 years, the Peacemakers Quilt Guild of Owatonna has been busy designing, cutting, stitching, and quilting, and they will be showing full-size quilts, samplers, and more. There will be 75 to 100 quilts to view. Each member has made a block for the raffle quilt, which is called Stars in My Garden. The tickets are only $1 and can be purchased at the Art Center. The Steele County Historical Society is pleased to welcome Jan Schmidt, Jeanette Perkel, and Gary Johnson for a presentation on the Barbers and Beauticians of Steele County. This is coming up Thursday, April 3rd at the Wenger Room in the History Center. The panel will present a slideshow of the area's barbers, beauticians that's called Do You Remember? And they'll share a map of where the businesses were located, as well as also artifacts related to their businesses, which oftentimes look like torture devices. So that should be interesting. Admission to the lecture is free for Steele County Historical Society members and $2 for non-members. Ever wonder what lies in the nooks and crannies of the Art Center? Well, there's lots of fun and interesting mysteries, and you can come hear them at the Secrets of the Art Center tour at 7 p.m. this Saturday. Nancy Valancourt will lead you through the building, exploring all the ins and outs, as well as sharing stories that are unique to the Owatonna Art Center. You never know what you'll find around each corner. Tour is free to Art Center members and $3 for those who are not members. Music Boosters of Owatonna Pancake Breakfast is this Sunday, March 6th from 8 to 12:15 at the Owatonna Eagles Club. Entertainment will be by music students, ensembles, and bands. Tickets are $5 in advance or $6 at the door. Owatonna Hospital Auxiliary Sewing Group, called Pink Pantry Coffee and Fun Gift Shop and Books and Fun, that's a really long title, are hosting a Spring Spree event at the Owatonna Hospital Thursday, April 10th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Friday from the 11th from 9 to 2. Books and gifts for all ages will be available for purchase in Vision Conference Room 1489, and sewing items will be available for purchase in the Excellence Conference Room, and that's 1487. A portion of the sales from this event will support the Owatonna Hospital unbudgeted items. Thanks so much for joining us. Please come join us on Friday. We'll have lots more information, including Bowl for Kids' Sake. See you then.